So now a question for you. Is America headed for a Biden-Trump rematch? The makeup of the electorate could be very different this time around. Saw this piece in the Washington Post this week estimating the U.S. will see a net gain of more than 50 million Gen Z voters. So question, could they create an opening for a third-party candidate? A new poll shows just about half of voters would consider voting for a third party. James Freeman, crunching the numbers, Fox News contributor, Wall Street Journal. Hello to you, James.
Hello.
What do you make of this on its face?
Yeah, I would say the electorate is up for grabs in terms of looking at young people and do we want another choice? I mean, let's face it, we don't always get Hamilton or Jefferson. Hamilton and Jefferson competing, whether we're talking about president or your local city council. You look at the two likely candidates right now, they both have very high unfavorables. So there's certainly, and you look at the inroads that Kennedy and Marianne Williamson have made. So you would say Democrats may be looking for another view.
Yeah.
Trump with very high negatives as well.
We have this poll call for number 2. This shows that people just don't feel that great about a Biden-Trump rematch. 33% of respondents have a favorable view of Trump, 32% of Biden, 31% of neither of them. And then you factor that into this poll that Bill mentioned. What's your name again, Bill? That people are interested in a third party. The thing is that you can talk about these things, and Joe Manchin can go up and do an event in New Hampshire, and no labels can get moving, and yet these things always seem to stall out, disappointing people. And Amy Walter of the Cook Political Report this week has been tweeting a little bit of caution here from people thinking that a third party is going to emerge. One of the big issues is ballot access. You have to actually be on the ballot, and No Labels is working on that, but they're not quite there yet. Yeah, it takes a lot of organization, a lot of money. You think about third-party challenges. Typically, they've succeeded mainly in a spoiler role. Democrats still angry about Ralph Nader in 2000. Some Republicans angry about Ross Perot during his runs. And I think the Perot example, very well funded, obviously very successful executive. And he got 10 to 15%, but couldn't get over the line.
So our friend Karl Rove is writing about this. Here's his headline now. Wall Street Journal, no label should worry Democrats. There's reason to think a Manchin-type candidate could lure critical Biden voters. It goes on from there. But listen to Senator Joe Manchin was at an event just week talking about this. Roll it.
We're here to make sure that the American people have an option. And the option is, can you move the political parties off their respective sides? They've gone too far right and too far left.
That was an event in New Hampshire there with Governor Humphrey there. I don't know why they always say it could hurt Democrats. Because the best example we have of this hurt Republicans in 1992.
Yeah, but he was the
George
incumbent.
Bush.
But George H.W. Bush was the incumbent.
So is that the distinction that those are making, that the incumbent is damaged?
So I think why they're thinking this is a Biden problem specifically is you look at 2020 results, 18 to 29-year-olds went 60% for Biden. If you want to say, why is he in the White House? A lot of people would say, that's it. He won overwhelmingly among young voters. I was looking at the Economist Hugo of Poll this week, not the Fox poll, but still came out this week and has some interesting looks at this, where both Trump, as you would expect among 18 to 29-year-olds, has very high unfavorables. Biden's also underwater. And when you look at approval rating right now, Biden's approval rating among 18 to 29-year-olds in this poll is actually slightly worse than overall. So this is supposed to be his core. This is how he got elected in 2020, and they're going away from him. There's a pollster at Harvard, John Volpe, who goes on one of the rival networks, and he's talking about how there's this shift among, he's basically warning Democrats, saying black and Hispanic 18 to 29-year-olds are moving away from the party. It's not massive, and a lot of them aren't becoming Republicans. They're becoming unaffiliated or independent.
Up for grabs.
But I think that's why people are looking at this as a specific Biden problem, because his election depends on overwhelming victory among young voters.
And Karl Rove, at the end of his column this week, Bill, says that stay tuned for next week, because this could be a problem for Republicans and Donald Trump as well. So we'll have to have him back to talk about Karl's column.
James Freeman cheating on us on the polls and watching other networks.
No, I would call that being prepared.
Could we say he's just doing his homework?
I think so. I think you can say that.
Have a great weekend.
Great to see you. Thank you.
James. There he is.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.